No, I thought we were saving America. What does this mean? America will no longer be saved? What does this mean? Can we laugh at Tesla profits crashing? Oh, yeah, we will. Terrible quarter for the Cybertruck, says Joe Weisenthal. While deliveries of the Model 3 and Model Y were down 12%, other models, the bucket that includes the Cybertruck, were down a whopping 24%. That far outpaces the decline in production of 16% for Model 3 and Model Y for 18% for other models. Tesla auto revenue has reported a 20% drop as the first quarter results miss Wall Street estimates. She wants Trump to watch the content nuke before talking to him. Yeah, that's what she is saying. Tesla's profits are down 71% year over year. Tesla posts a $400 million profit, down 71% year over year. Revenue is down nearly $2 billion compared to the same time last year. Wow. Without the $595 million in automotive regulatory credits, which other manufacturers buy off Tesla to comply with emissions requirements, Tesla would have posted a loss this quarter. And remember, a lot of the other automotive industry companies are also making their own electric vehicles now, which is part of the reason why the regulatory credits are their regulatory credits, which still keep Tesla afloat, which is part of the reason why I despise Elon Musk so much and have for such a long time, is because he's such an annoying piece of about the government and government expenditures when he is the number one welfare queen. Okay. The green credit swap scheme, if it did not exist, Tesla literally would not exist. I need you to understand this, because there have been numerous instances where Tesla almost defaulted, where the only thing that kept it alive, was this automotive regulatory credits, which dictates that other companies, other automotive industry companies that don't make, renewable energy backed, don't make like electric vehicles or whatever, will turn around and purchase, like, to offset the carbon footprint that they have. They go and give money to Tesla to make it seem like, oh, Tesla is creating our EV fleet. Why did the Tesla stock go up after this? Never mind, it's going vertical yet again. This shit makes no sense. He's doubling down on the earnings call right now is so funny. It might go up because he's gonna lie again. I assume he'll unveil a new product that they're never gonna make. He'll be like, yeah, I'm actually, if you drive a Tesla now, it's not only fully self-driving, but also it can fly you to the moon. And then people will be like, oh, Elon, he's so brilliant, he's gonna do it. This is unusual. So at a private JP Morgan JPM conference with the U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, Bessent talked about U.S. and China calling the situation unsustainable. The market rallied huge on the comments. But did someone at the conference know? Before the comments that were leaked to Bloomberg, a huge SPXW, 5,800C expiring 5/16/2025 was placed unusually. It was 11% out of the money. Truly unusual. The trader then made $2 million in 30 minutes after the comments. A call option. A lot of tech stocks shot up in the past 30 minutes because I think Trump was talking about how they might lower tariffs to China. Nvidia is up too.
At least maybe a dozen times. It's been so many times. This is not one of those times. We're not on the ragged edge of death. Not even close. But there are some challenges, and I expect that this year will be.
Yeah, I said Nvidia too.
Some unexpected bumps this year. But I remain extremely optimistic about the future of the company. The future of the company is fundamentally based on large-scale autonomous cars and large-scale, in large volume, vast numbers of autonomous humanoid robots. So the value of a company that makes truly useful autonomous humanoid robots and autonomous useful vehicles at scale, at low cost, which is what Tesla's going to do, is staggering. I continue to believe that Tesla, with excellent execution, will be the most valuable company in the world by far. But that's an important if. We must execute well. But if we do execute well, I think Tesla will be the most valuable company in the world by far. It may be as valuable as the next 5 companies combined. So, but there'll be a few bumps along the road before.
Who's buying this? Happens. I mean, it's the same people that bought in on Walter Bloomberg falsely claiming that Donald Trump was going to do a 90-day pause, okay, because of like one random answer that came from an administrative figure, and then the market recovered $4 trillion worth of value in a matter of hours until the White House came out and said, we're not going to do that. None of this makes sense, okay? It's all people that are holding on and trying to create the appearance of confidence because they already have so much stock. They have too much investment. It's a sunk cost for them. So they have to hope that other people will get on board with it. It's just all cope.
It will really go exponential from there. So I'd encourage people to look beyond like the, some sort of bumps and potholes of the road immediately ahead of us, but lift your gaze to the bright, shining, citadel on a hill. I don't know, some Reagan-esque imagery, and that's where we're headed, and not too distant future, like I said, end of next year type of thing. So, let's see. With respect to supply chain risk, something that Tesla has been working on for several years is to localize supply chains. This actually makes sense from a cost standpoint, and from a logistics risk standpoint. Is to have the supply chains be at least. He doesn't sound
confident at all in what he's saying. Yeah, this is how he sounds all the time now. This is how he sounds.
And so we are, I think, the least affected car company with respect to tariffs, at least in most respects. I mean, it remains to be seen. Now tariffs are still, tough on a company when margins are still low. But we do have localized supply chains in North America, Europe, and China. So that puts us in a stronger position than any of our competitors. And undoubtedly, I'm going to get a lot of questions about tariffs. And I just want to emphasize that the tariff decision is entirely up to the President of the United States. I will weigh in with my advice with the President, which he will listen to my advice, but then it's up to him, of course, to make his decision. I've been on the record many times as saying that I believe lower tariffs are generally a good idea for prosperity. But this decision is fundamentally up to the elected representative of the people, being the President of the United States. So, I'll continue to advocate for lower tariffs rather than higher tariffs, but that's all I can do.
He's the most protected, despite having
now let me walk you through why I'm so excited about the future.
Despite having a bunch of components that come directly from China, despite China being the monopoly of battery manufacturing. How could you claim to be the most protected? You're
for
people are so stupid for buying into this. They're so stupid.
In Austin, and then actually we should parse out the terms for robotic taxi or robotaxi, and just generally like what's the cybercab, because we've got a product called the cybercab, and then but any Tesla, which could be an S3, X, or Y that is autonomous, is a robotic taxi or robotaxi. It's very confusing. So the vast majority of the Tesla fleet that we've made is capable of being a robotaxi or robotic taxi. And as we're going from, once we can make the system work where you can have paid rides fully autonomously with no one in the car in one city, that is a very scalable thing for us to go broadly within whatever jurisdiction allows us to operate. So because what we're solving for is a general solution to autonomy, not a city-specific solution for autonomy, once we make it work in a few cities, we can basically make it work in all cities in that in that legal jurisdiction. So once we can make it basically work in a few cities in America.
Tesla is blaming partial production shutdowns on the quarterly decline in deliveries, but then also blaming supply, stock, and sales incentives for lower revenues. Make it make sense. The real answer is that their demand went down because duh.
Limited only by
this is Megaphonics' Super Bowl, by the way. I'm reacting to a Tesla earnings call. It is crazy.
Intelligence and an AI chip that Tesla designed specifically for this purpose, as opposed to very expensive sensors and high precision maps of a particular neighborhood where that neighborhood may change or often changes, and then the cost stops working. So we have a general solution instead of a specific solution.
Yeah. What happened?
And to go to Optimus, making good progress in Optimus. We expect to have thousands of Optimus robots working in Tesla factories by the end of this year, doing useful work. And we expect to scale Optimus up faster than any product, I think, in history, to get to millions of units per year as soon as possible. I think feel confident in getting to 1 million units per year in less than 5 years, maybe 4 years. So by 2030, I feel confident in predicting 1 million Optimus units per year. It might be 2029. So,
bro, he can't stop. He has to lie.
Energy business is
Elon Musk and Israel have this pathological need to constantly lie.
Enables utility companies to output far more total energy than would otherwise be the case. When you think of the energy capability of a grid, it's much more than say total energy output per year. If the power plants could operate at peak power for all 24 hours, as opposed to being at half power or sometimes a quarter power at night, then you could double the energy output of existing power plants. But in order to do that, you need to buffer the energy so that you can charge up something like battery pack at night and then discharge into the grid during the day.
He really can't help himself. He has. I must lie. If I don't lie, I will die.
A massive unlock on total energy output of any given grid over the course of a year.
We've been listening live on the Tesla earnings call. We've been listening to Elon Musk talk about, most significantly, that most of his work with Doge, with trying to make the government more efficient, he says most of the groundwork for that is done, and he's going to pull back on his time that he spends in Washington. But he does say a day or two per week is what he'll be spending on government.
No, I'm so sad. He was doing such great work. No. Fucking idiot.
Term here. And it seems like that is really what analysts and investors have been looking for. I'm here with Jay Woods, Freedom Capital Markets Chief Global Strategist. Gautam Mukunda is joining us now too. Tufts University Adjunct Associate Professor and Yale School of Management.
No. Musk says he'll pull back significantly from Doge in May. Thank you, Susan Crawford. No. I thought we were saving America. What? Does this mean America will no longer be saved? What does this mean? What does it mean? I don't get it. I don't get it. Now, yes, he said the same thing about Twitter, and he certainly did not back down. The difference here is that he owns Twitter, but he doesn't own the American government, at least not yet. And there is another diva. There is another diva that wants to push him out in this process. No. Elon Musk wants to own the American government, and functionally, as the wealthiest billionaire on the planet, he does kind of own the American government. But in terms of having direct access to the White House in the ways that he has enjoyed thus far, I think is meeting a more powerful force here. It's an unstoppable force meeting an immovable object. And the immovable object is Donald Trump. Israeli deputy minister had a meltdown over Russia Today reporter's question. Yeah, I saw this while I was pissing. We'll look at that in a second.